welcome to this week's live weekly warm-up, where I go over a warm-up exercise that I like to use in my own practicing. I challenge you to do it in your practicing and see what kind of results you get for the week. I do this every single Monday around 10:30 a.m. Central Time. So if you want this challenge for yourself every single week, be sure to tune in. You can also catch it. The replay of it is up on the Quick Start Clarinet YouTube channel. And remember, there are new tips and tricks videos every Saturday morning on the Quick Start Clarinet YouTube channel as well. So there's all kinds of fun clarinet content coming your way from me and Quick Start Clarinet to help you achieve your clarinet dreams. So without further ado, let's get into today's exercise. So today we're going to be doing a articulation exercise, and this one is called modes, and it's basically where you're playing a scale and articulating, as most articulation exercises are. But this one's a really fun one to sort of speed up your articulation some, and also to really make sure that you're getting good coordination between your tonguing and your fingers. So if you've ever worked on something like Mendelssohn's Scherzo from A Midsummer Night's Dream, or even many of the Rose etudes, or just tongued scales in general, there's a lot of honor band auditions where you'll have to do articulated scales at sometimes pretty fast tempos, and this is a great thing to do to practice that. So how this exercise works, just like any good articulation exercise, it starts with a long note to get a good sound going on sort of just a straight long tone to start. And then we start articulating on one note, and I think of it as like holding a half note and then beats 3 and 4 or 16th notes, so it's 8 16th notes. And then we tongue up a major scale, 8 notes to the next octave, and then we tongue there for 2 more beats and then hold and then repeat the process. So it's basically half note, 2 beats of 16th notes on one note, 2 beats of 16th notes going up the scale, 2 beats of 16th notes on the higher one, and then you're back to a half note, and then you do 2 beats of 16th notes on the higher one, tongue down the scale, 2 beats of 16th notes on the bottom, and you're back on the half note again. So this is what it sounds like. And of course, this is in your friendly key of C major for now, but it's C major on A clarinet. So if you're following along, be sure that you catch that it's A clarinet. So if it's sounding weird to you, that's why. So that's the basic framework of the exercise, but what makes it modes is we're actually going to play that across the different modes. So we're going to keep playing in C major, just like we did last week where we did the 2-octave modal scales. It's the same idea, but we're going to take that articulation pattern now and move it up to starting on D, but still playing in the key of C major. And then we're going to move it down to B, but still playing in the key of C major. And you can sort of go back and forth and expand it to all of the modes if you want to really get a really in-depth tongue workout. I'm just going to demonstrate those couple ones so you can see how it goes, but yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to get my metronome going. These are always good to do with a metronome. All technique and articulation exercises are good to do with a metronome, so we're making sure everything's smooth and even. Let me try that again. And actually, I think I'm going to go down to B first. That's what I'm used to doing. So I said it wrong, and that messed me up. So it's C, then B, then D, and then back to C. And just like any good warm-up exercise, I wasn't super happy with how my fingers and my tonguing were lined up on that. So I'm going to do it again to make sure that I really get the results that I want. And So that's the basic idea of the exercise where we're doing this, holding a note, tonguing repeated notes on the same note, and then continuing the motion of the tongue as we add in the motion of our fingers and making sure that that's aligned. And then we go back to just the motion of the tongue at the top, and then a whole note to finish everything up, or a half note or a long note. It doesn't matter so much exactly what rhythms you're playing through each phase of this exercise. You could even do where you hold like a quarter note or a half note, and then you tongue a whole 4 beats of 16th notes, and then play a 2-octave scale. And that would give you more beats of tonguing, more beats of finger coordination, and make it a little bit more challenging and a little bit more advanced in general. So there's lots and lots of different combinations. Just like any warm-up exercise, it's not about playing a particular series of notes in a particular way at a particular time. It's more about doing whatever you need to do to experiment and find how to get the best sound and the best results out of the clarinet. So the purpose of this one is not play a half note and then 8 16th notes and then 8 16th notes up the scale. The purpose of this exercise is to go from playing one long note with a great sound, moving your tongue and continuing the great sound as you're articulating, and then coordinating your fingers and your tongue as you continue the tongue motion up the scale, and then doing the same thing where you're keeping the tongue going when you get to the top and sort of rounding everything out. And even that last part at the end probably isn't imperative, as long as you're getting good sound, good tongue motion, coordinating the tongue and fingers. That's what this exercise is all about. So I hope that was helpful to sort of peel back the layers and reveal a little bit about why this particular exercise is important. I want to do that a little bit more as we do more of these weekly warm-ups in the future, where I talk about both the actual exercise that we're doing and sort of the underlying fundamentals that we're getting at, because that's what's important about warming up, is getting to these underlying fundamentals. You can play whatever you want. There's millions of warm-up exercises. Some have been used by professionals. Some haven't been used by professionals. Professionals have done some and haven't done some. I think you'd be surprised if you did a survey of a bunch of professional clarinetists that not every single one of them plays through all of Barramon every single day. And in fact, I bet there's very, very little of them who do that. Even though we're told that's what'll make us great, the warm-ups only make you great if you're focusing on the right things. So I challenge you to try this modes articulation exercise, focusing on going from one great sounding long note, adding in the tongue motion and keeping the great sound, coordinating your finger motion really well with that tongue motion, and keeping the great sound as always. So I hope that's been helpful. I'm looking forward to next week's weekly live warm-up, which will be at the same place, same time, YouTube, Instagram, Central Time. And if you want more of these great warm-up exercises and more information on playing the clarinet, be sure to go to quickstartclarinet.com, where there's a plethora of resources for you to check out about how to play the clarinet and learning to play more efficiently. I'm all about learning to play right now. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next week or in another video.